Hey guys, and welcome to part 27 of Building Theed. So guys, in this episode we're going to start work on a brand new building. It's going to be located right here, and this building is going to be sort of a round building with a domed roof. I kind of want to explain a little bit sort of the architecture that it's going to have. It's not going to be just like solid walls all around. It's sort of, alright, so let me break it down. It's going to be a round base, sort of like a raised up platform, just a few steps. And then it's going to be sort of like a double facade situation. It's going to be a double facade situation. It's going to have sort of like open arches on the outside and then a sort of like solid core in the middle with a door. So in this episode, we are going to get to work on the base with the steps and the solid middle core, just to have like a solid foundation to put the other walls and the dome roof to sit upon when we're done. So let's get right into building. So as is usual, guys, here is an overview at the current state of the MOC, and this is the section that we're going to be working on this episode. Now, a lot of you might be wondering why the only connection point is like this area right here. I'm not very good at Lego math per se, so this building is going to suffer from the same sort of situation that the palace build suffers. It's only going to be attached through the front section right here, like the palace that we have over here. It's not attached to the mountain. It's only attached to the front steps right here. Everything else is just sitting on top of it. So this building is going to suffer from that same situation. Just the front of it is going to be attached, and the rest is just going to be like sitting on top of the MOC. So I think what I'm going to do is, since this is a situation, I'm going to do the same thing that I did when I was building the other floors of this building, and I'm going to go ahead and push the entire MOC back, and we're going to build the entire base section separately, just to make it easier. And then once we have that built, I have to decide if either we place it then or we continue building off and then place it at the end. So let's go ahead and start building that base. All right, you guys, so originally for the base of this building, I was simply going to go ahead and use some of these wedge plates that are like, I think 8x8. Yeah, 8x8, and join them together with some of these hinge pieces like that, and just sort of like create the big shape. But I felt like it was a little bit too small. I wanted sort of like a bigger diameter for the entire circle. So I had to think of a way of like stretching this out, but still, covering the gaps that would be created on the sides. So this is the solution that I came up with. As you can see, it uses these smaller wedge plates, and then it creates the steps with these like nice tiles. Like I'm gonna tile over all of this as well, to sort of like add the third step up onto like the top platform where the building itself is going to sit. So I'm going to go ahead and build the other ones of these, join them together, and then proceed to tile up the entire base of this building. So let's see how it turns out. Alright guys, so I finished, creating the basic shape of the base. I actually went ahead and reinforced it again with more of these hinge plates in, further back from the outer edge, just to make it a little bit more sturdy. And now I'm going to go ahead and tile all over it to give it sort of like a smooth finish and help create that third step. So let's go ahead and get that done. Alright you guys, so this is what the finished main base looks like. I really like the shape, and I like sort of this like diamond shape that these gaps have. I know I could have used those different wedge plates that are like 2x3 here, but I just really like this sort of like angular shape like that. So it's done on purpose, like don't worry about it. Now guys, we are gonna have to build a sort of like second smaller base right up here. That's why these studs are exposed here. So that I can anchor it, because we need a surface to build up the sort of like core of this building. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that built and check back in. All right, you guys, so I went ahead and I built the base for the interior structure of this build. I'm very happy with how it looks and how it lines up with everything. As you can see, I've also added a few steps right here leading up to what will soon be a doorway. So what I think I'm gonna do now is go ahead and start building up the walls and that door right there. I think I'll check back in at a midway point just so you guys can kind of get an idea of what this is gonna look like. So let's go ahead and get that done. So guys, we are sort of at a halfway point with the inner portion of this building. I am very happy with how it's looking. I like the addition of these bricks for detail. These are masonry bricks, but like from the back, so you can only see that one line, which I love. And you can see the door is completely finished. It's very, very thin. It's mostly there just to add like an access point and give it purpose, because otherwise the building would look kind of random and incomplete. And I've also added another row of hinges up here to sort of stabilize everything and keep it together. But now I'm gonna go ahead and build up the rest of it. And I think after that, we are gonna call it a wrap for this episode. So let's go ahead and get that built. All right, guys, and this is the finished internal structure of this building. Now, I know it doesn't make a lot of sense because it looks like super tall, and you're probably wondering where is the dome gonna come into play, but don't worry, it's all gonna make sense as we progress. I'm very, very happy with how it looks. I like the little details that have been added in the dark tan, like right here and right here. I feel like it just adds all that much more detail to it. But yeah, guys, I think we're gonna call it for this episode. So let's go ahead and talk about what you guys can expect in the next episode. Okay guys, so with today's progress, we've sort of made it up until a kind of halfway point with this building. I know it doesn't look kind of like what I've described, but I promise you it will all make sense when we finish it. So speaking of that, in the next episode, guys, we're going to be completely finishing this building and then placing it on the MOC. And once we do that, we are only going to be missing one final build for Theed to be 100% complete. So I am honestly so excited. I can't believe we've come this far. But yeah, guys, now is that time in the episode where we update our follow along map. So last time we were here, and this time we've made it all the way up to here. Now, for the sake of updating the follow along map, I've sort of placed what we've built on Theed, even though it's technically not there yet. But you can kind of get an idea of how tall it's going to be and how much it's going to fill up the space. And I'm just very, very excited for you guys to see the finished product. But that is going to be it for this episode, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.